Zynga had been launching like Farmville and all these games. Everyone at Xbox was like, that is like destroying the gaming. It's not what gaming's about. Like, I get it. The games compared to like our AAA games, they suck. But millions of people are using it. Like, that seems like disruption to me.
And then so everything's just kind of exploding.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Facebook games becomes very profitable, but we start exploiting the newsfeed. We start spamming people because like the more you spam, the more revenue you get. So we're like,
Yeah. The only time I'm looked down upon is if I'm not thinking big enough.
this meritocracy. Like, it didn't matter what you look like, didn't matter how old you are. Like, if you produce results, you will get compensated.
Hey everyone, Chris Jr. here, Overnight Success, and today's guest is Vanessa Larco. We're very fortunate to have her join me in the studio in Silicon Valley. She's one of the partners at NEA that were behind Robinhood, Box, ByteDance, a bunch of other impressive portfolio there. And we talk about her career from product to becoming a venture capitalist and working for all these superstar Silicon Valley enterprises through to her career in venture capital and her experience as a Latina and the need and the value of having a community surrounding you. I hope you enjoy the episode. Cheers.
I don't think entrepreneurship back then or for them was really a choice. It was just out of necessity. My family comes from South America. My mom's from Colombia. My dad's from Peru. Just not the opportunities you have in the US to like join a big company and stay forever. That's just like not what happens. And so there were family businesses, and as the family businesses get inherited by the siblings, everyone has different opinions on where it should go. Inevitably, one takes over, everyone spins out and does their own business.
Right.
And so what was rare was my mom going out to do her own business. All my uncles did. It was expected.
What kind of business are we talking?
So my grandmother inherited a bunch of farmland.
Right.
And my grandfather was like, we're not doing farms. Like, we're selling all of that. We're building factories. We want to be on the edge of technology.
Wow.
Yeah. My mom learned to code in my grandfather's one of his factories. I think it was a juice factory. She was like writing assembly code for like
That's
assembly
insane.
line. Yeah, so she got really into
Fun
coding. Yeah. She was. They were always in the business. Yeah. That's how you grow in Latin America. You're in your parents' businesses. Everyone believes in child labor, unpaid child labor in Latin America. But my mom was coding since she was a teenager and wanted to come to the United States to study computer science.
Very
in the 70s, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
So she was really my role model on the tech front. And she started computer software businesses and would build them and then sell them, bootstrapped.
In here? Was it?
Miami.
Here? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just, like everyone from Latin America, when they come to the States, like Miami is the place to go.
Yeah.
And so she went to school there, and she got married there, and she had us there, and so she wasn't going to move. So she was like, I'm just going to build my own thing. But I figured, like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to learn how to build. I'm going to learn how to do things at scale. I'm going to build my network. And then, like, I'll find a way back to Miami someday.
Yeah. So our advice would be like to, entrepreneurs at some point would always be like, make sure you do, if you have the opportunity to do the Microsoft, to understand how big corporates, you have to do that bit at some point, right? Otherwise,
oh God, it's so much fuel for wanting to do a startup.
Right.
Because you do it, and when you're learning, you're like, this is the greatest. And then when you're learning plateaus a bit, you start seeing all the things that you're like, why?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, I want to try this. And they're like, well, you need like 17 levels of approval. And you're like, ah. And then the frustration builds, and then you're like, I want to go to a startup. I want to like move fast. I want to do things. I want to test and iterate and have short feedback loops. I feel like my learning is too slow here.
Yeah.
And then like that is such great fuel for either joining a startup or going to do your own startup.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. So like I see Silicon Valley of this, like from Seattle, as this meritocracy. Like, it didn't matter what you look like, didn't matter how old you are. Like, if you produce results, you will get compensated appropriately.
That's the way I kind of feel that Microsoft would be. Yeah.
No, Microsoft. No. There's like levels.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, Microsoft would be the opposite. I see it more corporate.
Super corporate. Yeah. So I look over and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go live there and do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have to work so hard. I'm like, game. I don't have kids. I'm not married. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, now's the time.
So I joined Playdom, and we'd launch Connect. Zynga had been launching like Farmville and all these games. Playdom was right behind them. Everyone at Xbox was like, that is like cancer. It is like destroying the gaming. It is not what gaming's about. This is like cheap fast food gaming. Like everybody hated it. It's like, that seems like disruption to me. And I got a role and I moved down here, and it was everything and more that I thought it was going to be. It was awesome. I was like, startups
I
rock.
kind of think it's like Wild West a little bit. It's like, it's not like, because I'm like, again, outside of perspective too,
Yeah.
like Australian, I'm like, I like Silicon Valley is just like, yeah, it's definitely not corporate. I mean, there probably would be in the funds, not our funds, but it's like, it's just like a little bit crazy that I like, but I like it. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
fast paced.
Yeah.
Like when you succeed, you get these like little wins along the way, and it's like just enough fuel to keep you going.
Yeah.
And then when you fail, you're like, it's okay. Like let's learn, and then let's try again. And there's
Yes.
this like energy and resilience,
Yes.
and like lack of not so much fear, but nobody looks down. Like nobody, like, you know, when you're climbing, they're like, just don't look down.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just like looking up and just like trying to climb.
Yeah. The only, like, I really love about being with the Drapers too is like, the only time I'm looked down upon is if I'm not thinking big enough.
Problem is, if you don't control the platform, inevitably the platform's gonna be like, you're ruining the experience on this platform.
Mhm.
Facebook shut off access to newsfeed
Right.
for
Full
social
game.
games.
Yeah, I kind of wondered how that all went down. Okay.
Killed it.
Right.
Done.
Yeah. And then the games.
It just withered.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like I got here, I got promoted, I was running a big team, I was super young, and invited to like these parties from these ad networks because the advertising also had a boom, and the parties were insane, the energy was fun, everybody was working really hard, everyone was succeeding, money was just like, honestly, it was just like raining money. It's great. Turns out I joined NEA.
Okay.
I joined NEA and they're like, we'll teach you everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
great. And I was like, ooh, Series Bs, you have lots of numbers. This is fun. And then I'm like, oh, wait, you have to do a lot of stuff on
Yeah.
the financial side. And I was like, ooh, seed, no numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is way more fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's numbers, right? There's like, but it's engagement data. They don't have revenue yet. So
Yeah.
you're looking to see like, are users using it? Do they want this? Do they need this? Are you delivering the promise that you're telling me?
That's
Is
what I
it
was just
showing
saying.
up on, right? And then
Yeah.
the team and then the market. Like, so I'm like, that's my jam.
Yeah.
When I joined Venture, it wasn't as diverse as it is today. And I think
Yeah.
we made a ton of progress.
Yeah.
I happen to be a woman. I happen to be Latin. And so, but, you know, I grew up in tech, and tech has been pretty, like, unique cultured. I guess, like, just one persona is
Yeah.
typically the bulk of it.
Yep.
But, and that's fine. But it is really nice when you walk into a room of people that have similar upbringings as you, listen to the same music or eat the same foods. Like, you just kind of feel like, I'm at home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like you belong. And that's really a great, warm, fuzzy feeling.
We've
We
got
want
our
people
own
to know they
pockets. Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
We want people to know these
Awareness.
organizations exist, these communities exist,
Yeah.
and we're here for you,
Yeah.
right? And then like you have a place, you belong somewhere in this crazy environment that we're in,
Yeah.
and we can provide a little bit of home, right? The goal of these organizations is to get more people of these backgrounds into the ecosystem. I
Yep.
think it's healthy for the ecosystem. Every consumer wave we've had, where there's been like an explosion of really high value companies, a lot of the ones on your wall,
Yeah.
it comes from a tech unlock and a radical consumer behavior change
Yep.
that results in it. And you need both.
Yep.
You can have radical consumer behavior change if you don't have a lot of tech unlock, it's not going to work. Or you can have a massive tech unlock and no consumer behavior change, and you have like AR, VR, or Web3,
Yeah.
right? Like the wave doesn't happen, it doesn't materialize. You need to have both things. And I think in 2022, when ChatGPT came out, it was a massive tech unlock. This generative AI, like actually tangible, touchable, downloadable for the
Yeah.
average person, was massive. The things it can do is impressive. And then you had radical consumer behavior change. People just adopted this thing and were just like using it for all kinds of things.
What was the first time in a long time where you were kind of blown away by technology? Yeah, you're like, oh right. This is
But then you
awesome.
adopted it, and people
Yeah.
adopted it so quickly and changed their behaviors so rapidly.
Yeah.
And to me, the fascinating thing was just not only, it was the rate of adoption. It was like unprecedented. It was adopted way faster than mobile was, like the iPhone was. And then the depth, like late typically you expect like the early adopters to get it right, but it went all around the world.
Yep.
And it went from your techie early adopters to, my friend was telling me her grandparents were using it to write their Christmas card this year. To grandparents. In a matter.
Thanks for the effort in that.
Yeah, exactly. In like less than 2 years, right?
Yeah.
At the time. And so for me, I'm like, wow, I think that if you believe that framework of tech unlock, consumer behavior change, combined yields a wave of innovative consumer companies, then you would believe that we're at the precipice of another big wave of consumer companies that'll get started.
100%.
And that's what gets me really excited.
Thank you for listening to Overnight Success. We hope you enjoyed hearing from our guests and learning about their inspiring journeys. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and share it with your friends. And remember, with hard work and dedication, anything is possible.